Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of 2 Samuel, the 24th chapter. And as we went through in the 23rd chapter, right, the bulk of it was going through David's mighty men and the heroic acts that they did to earn them their spots. So this is 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1. And again, the anger of the Lord Yahweh was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, "Go, number Israel and Judah." So the Lord was seeking occasion to bring judgment upon Israel. For the king said to Joab, the captain of the host, which was with him, "Go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, and number ye the people, that I may know the number of the people." Basically, like to take a census. And Joab said unto the king, "Now the Lord thy God add unto the people how many soever they be, 100-fold, and that the eyes of the Lord my king may see it. For why doth my Lord the king delight in this thing?" So, may the Lord increase Israel, and have it to where you can get to witness that, right, the increase of Israel. But why do you desire to know this? Notwithstanding, the king's word prevailed against Joab, against the captains, and against the captains of the host. So David insisted, and he had the final word. And Joab and the captains of the host went out from the presence of the king to number the people of Israel. And they passed over Jordan and pitched in Aror, on the right side of the city that lieth in the midst of the river of Gad, and toward Jazir. Then they came to Gilead, and to the land of Tatim Hodshi, and they came to Dan Jaan, and about to Zidon, and came to the stronghold of Tyre, and to all the cities of the Hivites and of the Canaanites, and they went out to the south of Judah, even to Beersheba. So when they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem at the end of 9 months and 20 days. And Joab gave up the sum of the people, or of the number of the people, unto the king. And there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men that drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 5,000 men. And David's heart smote him after that he had numbered the people. And David, so his conscience basically started to eat at him. And David said unto the Lord, "I have sinned greatly in that I have done. And now I beseech thee, O Yahweh, take away the iniquity of thy servant, so pardon my sin, for I have done very foolishly." For when David was up in the morning, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, and seer is another name for prophet, saying, "Go and say unto David, Thus saith the Lord, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee." So these are going to be your 3 options in terms of the judgment. And I'll give you the mercy to select which one is going to befall you. So Gad came to David and told him, and said unto him, "Shall 7 years of famine come unto thee in thy land? Or wilt thou flee 3 months before thine enemies, while they pursue thee? Or that there be 3 days pestilence in thy land? Now advise, and see what answer I shall return to him that sent me." And David said unto Gad, "I am in a great strait. Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord Yahweh, for his mercies are great, and let me not fall into the hand of man." So he chose the pestilence, in that by the judgment being by the hand of the Lord, the Lord is merciful, right? And he can have at least mercy rather than to fall prey into the hands of man. So the Lord sent a pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed for 3 days. And there died of the people from Dan even to Beersheba 70,000 men. Now, what David did here, when you go into the law, there's no explicit law that says like you can't number, like you shouldn't number Israel per se. But when you go into, I believe it's in the book of Exodus, let me see, there's a way to do it, which the Lord, I think it's Exodus, yeah, Exodus 30 and 12, when he commanded Moses to basically number, right, Israel. But he's gonna tell you, right, and this is what David didn't do. And obviously and he did it just out for him to know the number. Therefore, the Lord brought a plague, right? So Exodus 30 and 12, when thou takest the sum of the children of Israel after their number, which is to count a census, then shall they give every man a ransom for his soul unto the Lord, when thou numberest them, that there be no plague among them when thou numberest them. So to avoid a plague coming upon them, when you number them, they have to give a ransom for everybody's soul. This they shall give, every one that passeth among them that are numbered, half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs, and half shekel shall be the offering of the Lord. David didn't do this, okay? And so the Lord brings this plague upon him, and he basically, as it says here, the Lord had this plague slay the people. Now, once again, the Lord did this because more than likely Israel was doing wickedness, right? And so the Lord sought an occasion to bring judgment upon them. Because he's not just going to bring judgment upon you, but he uses means, all right, to do it. Just with Hophni and Phinehas, right, the sons of Eli. It says that when Eli spoke to them, they didn't listen because the Lord was he had determined evil against them. Verse 16, and when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord Yahweh repented him of the evil, and said to the angel that destroyed the people, it is enough. So the angel was about to, strike Jerusalem with that pestilence, but at that time, the Lord, the Lord was basically like, all right, that's enough. And said to the angel that destroyed the people, it is enough. Stay now thine hand. And the angel of the Lord was by the threshing place of Araunah the Jebusite. And David spake unto the Lord when he saw the angel that smote the people, and said, Lo, I have sinned, and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Let thine hand, I pray thee, be against me, and against my father's house. So he's saying, you know what, Lord, just put the judgment on me. I'm the one who sinned, not them. So spare the people is basically what David is pleading for. And Gad came that day to David and said unto him, Go up, rear an altar unto the Lord in the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. And David, according to the sayings of Gad, went up as the Lord Yahweh commanded. And Araunah looked and saw the king and his servants coming toward him, or coming on toward him. And Araunah went out and bowed himself before the king on his face upon the ground. And Araunah said, Wherefore is my lord the king come to his servant? And David said, To buy the threshing floor of thee, to build an altar unto the Lord Yahweh, that the plague may be stayed from the people. So I would like to buy a threshing floor so I can set up an altar to the Lord. If not, this pestilence is not going to stop, harming the people. So basically, he wanted to offer unto the Lord to appease the Lord. And Araunah said unto David, Let my lord the king take and offer up what seemeth good unto him. Behold, here be oxen for burnt sacrifice, and threshing instruments, and other instruments of oxen for wood. So, yeah, everything is yours. Go ahead. Whatever you need. I got oxen for the sacrifice. I have instruments for the threshing. Whatever it is you need, it's all yours. All these things did Araunah, as a king, give unto the king. And Araunah said unto the king, The Lord Yahweh thy God accept thee. And now I'm going to read this in the NLT or even in the NKJV. All these, O king, Araunah has given to the king. And Araunah said to the king, May the Lord Yahweh your God accept you. So that's basically, there's no quotes here in the KJV, but by the NKJV putting the quotes, it makes it makes more sense. Verse 24. And the king said unto Araunah, Nay, but I will surely buy it of thee at a price. So no, I have to. I'm not taking this for free, right? I'm gonna pay for it. Neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God of that which doth cost me nothing. So I'm not gonna take this for free. No, I'm offering this unto the Lord. So I'm gonna use my money. I'm gonna purchase it, and I'm gonna, that's the least I can do. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar unto the Lord Yahweh, and sacrificed burnt offerings and peace offerings. So the Lord Yahweh was entreated for the land, and the plague was stayed from Israel. And that brings us to the end of the book of 2 Samuel, the 24th chapter, and also the end of the book of 2 Samuel. And so pretty much, right, as we went through, both 1st and 2nd Samuel, this was at the emerging out of the period of the judges, right, into that of, the kingdom of Israel, right, the formation, Saul being set up as king, David ended up taking his place, and sort of leading from here into the book of Kings, right, where we see what happens, which we've covered that, but we see what happens after David dies. His son Solomon reigns, the kingdom is divided, and then you go in, so on and so forth. So Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodesh. And until next time, Shalom.